Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl Bernardi and welcome to another episode of Wholeness at Work. Today we're going to be talking about how to stay debt-free in your 20s. Yes, I said that, how to stay debt-free in your 20s. And the reason I'm so passionate about this topic is because I didn't stay debt-free in my 20s. In fact, I did all the wrong things, the wrong decisions, the foolish things that caused a lot of pain and regret in my 30s. And so I'm doing this video primarily for my younger self, the things I wish I told myself, the things I wish I knew that would have helped me stay debt-free and actually be in a much stronger financial position today. So if you are looking on ways to stay debt-free, or are looking for ways to get out of debt if you are in debt right now, or just looking for some advice and wisdom to help other people in your life, in your family circle, in your social circle that you can see are struggling with these issues, then I think this video is going to really help you. Today I want to cover 3 keys that I think are crucial in helping anybody stay debt-free from their 20s. And why this is important is because our early years, our early career years, is really what sets the foundation and the pattern of what we do for the rest of our lives. So if we start off shaky, if we start off making wrong moves, it takes a lot of time and energy and tears and frustration to correct later on. So the 3 things I want to share with you today that I wish my 20-year-old self had known is: number 1, know what your heart is crying out for. Number 2, know what your values are. And number 3, make sure that you can be okay with other people disapproving of your choices. So let's start with number 1, knowing what your heart is crying out for. So I didn't know that my 20-year-old self was really looking for acceptance and belonging and just love, which actually everybody is craving that. But in our early 20s, these feelings are heightened because we're trying to find our way, we're trying to find how much value we have in the world. And unbeknownst to me, unconsciously, I'd made this choice or this decision that once I started earning money, I would go and buy the clothes that everyone else had because I thought that would make me acceptable, that would give me what I want. I was trying to buy acceptance, but what I was just getting was more clothing and debt. And honestly, I don't have the clothing that I've had obviously when I bought the stuff in my 20s. I've wasted tons of money, tons of cupboard space, tons of stuff that I haven't used, and really what I was trying to buy was just a feeling of acceptance and that I'm valuable and that I'm beautiful and all of this stuff, that is below the surface. So I want to ask you the questions today. At this moment in time, as you're watching this video, what is your heart crying out for? Is it crying out for peace? You're not going to find it in a store, in a bottle. Is it crying out for love? You're not even going to find it in a personal relationship, unfortunately. Is it crying out for acceptance, for belonging, for identity? These are all things that money can't buy. But we live in a world of incredible marketing and a consumerist culture that says that if you're feeling lonely, you need this product. If you're feeling scared, you need this solution. But actually what our heart is crying out for, these intangible things of love and acceptance and belonging, can't be found in stuff. So know what your heart is crying out for and then try and fill that in healthy ways. And this is where the whole aspect of your spirit, soul, body comes from. This is how to live from a place of wholeness. To actually stop and realize, okay, my heart is crying out for connection. My heart is crying out for acceptance. My heart is crying out for peace. You're only going to really receive that from a higher power, the universe, God. However you connect with a higher power beyond yourself, because you've come from somewhere and you're only going to have that hole in your heart filled by the creator, the universe, this higher energy force, however you want to put a label or name onto that. Because money and what money can buy is never going to fill what your heart is crying out for. Okay, I think I've covered that sufficiently. Number two is know what your values are. I've seen the same situation time and time again with numerous graduates. They get into their first job and then they buy a brand new car, fresh off the lot with the bow. You know, those make great Facebook and Instagram photos, but actually that is not the best choice in terms of buying your first car. But we feel the pressure of trying to, you know, conform to the patterns of success that's been laid out for us. And so if we're valuing or if we're craving approval from people, we are going to make the same financial decisions or choices that seem right, that seem normal, but actually it's actually not the best thing for us. Looking for a second-hand vehicle, looking for a demo model vehicle, buying a car that you actually can afford is not a bad thing. But if you're valuing what other people value, you're going to make these decisions thinking it's going to be okay, and actually you're going to be drowning in a silent puddle of debt that becomes this pool that becomes overwhelming. And the people that you know, enjoy your nice car or the big parties at your house are not there to help you pay the bills. Am I right? I know I'm right. I know it's not nice to hear this stuff, guys, but it's true, okay? We can't be living our lives for other people. They are not paying the bill for our lives. We are paying the bill for our lives. So make sure you know what you value. If you value security, if you value having a strong financial future, if you value being able to choose the work that you love to do, then please, please, please live according to your own values. It is only when I got debt free and started having healthy financial habits could I make better decisions in terms of my own work life. So many people are stuck in jobs that they hate, that they're miserable in, that they're making other people miserable in because they haven't chosen the right financial pattern and path, and they are stuck in their jobs because of all the debt they have, and they can't actually live the life of their dreams. And that is just a sad reality, but it doesn't have to be that way. If I could get out of it, anyone can, because I thought I was a lost case. And the last one is make sure that you are going to be okay with people not being okay with you. You know, there's going to be people that are following the pattern of graduating, getting their first job, getting a brand new car, getting a big house, getting married, having kids, all of that stuff, ticking the box of social acceptability, but actually it's not really the stuff that they have chosen, or it's hampering their real journeys. And so when you do make different financial decisions, maybe you buy a second-hand car that's not, you know, the newest car that everyone thinks you should have, or you decide to keep your cell phone for years and years because why do you need to get the new phone every time it comes out? Or why do you have to buy a house that's 3 times more than what you can afford, and you're living in a silent desperation wondering how you're going to pay the next payment? Meanwhile, everyone else is having the same anxieties, just no one talks about it. So, you know, for example, my husband and I decided that we will not be buying a home in the near future. We've had to make that decision because of our own personal lives and, you know, the kind of work that we're involved in and the kind of stuff we do outside of our work, where we serve communities. And so that hasn't been the right choice for us. Also, I've had bad experiences with trying to rent out my property, finally had the property sold. So we've been burned in that area, and we're actually okay with not owning a home right now. But there are so many people that think that we are crazy, that think that we are weird because we choose not to own a home. And it's almost like we have to prove that we are not weird or there's something that's wrong with us because we are making a choice not to own a home. And so you're going to have to be okay with people not understanding you, criticizing your decisions. But ultimately, you are responsible for your own life. You are responsible for your own financial decisions because no one's going to come and bail you out of them. And so this is the 3 things that I wish I could go back in time in my little secret time machine and shake myself awake and say, Cheryl, listen to this stuff. Save yourself, woman. So I can't go back and shake myself, but I can hopefully shake you a little bit into reality, because actually there are so many amazing options that you have when you start making better financial decisions for your life. There's an entire community that's evolving of younger people who've seen the pattern that's been following of people who go into retirement and haven't saved enough, and the anxiety that they have, and think, well, I don't want that to be me. I actually want to be able to have better choices for my life earlier than what the world tells me I should follow. So there are people in the FI community, called the financial independent community, who live on less than they earn, who keep their expenses to a minimum, don't have fancy cars, don't wear fancy clothing, but are able to actually have invested their money, and now they are able to choose the work that they love. They're not tied to a job that they hate. They actually have choices for their life, and there's freedom, and there's just a joy of life. I mean, really, the world of work is changing anyway. So it's a wonderful opportunity to realize that I might not get that permanent salary that's going to give me security. There's an evolving gig economy, you know. So as the world of work is shifting, we also have an opportunity to shift out of the traditional debt cycles, because really it does bring a form of death anyway. I've experienced that in my life, and it took me a very long time to get out of debt and form new financial habits. I will do a video one day on how to get out of debt. That is a wonderful story, and we teach the principles of how to get out of debt. But for now, just to get to the hard stuff of how to stay free of debt, is to make sure, let's go back to those three things, is number one, know what your heart is crying out for. Number two, live according to your own values, so knowing what they are and living according to them. And then number three, to be okay with other people not being okay with your lifestyle choices. So I hope that's encouraged you. I want to do another video about how to stay out of debt and how to develop some positive financial habits, which we will cover in future episodes. But if you are struggling with debt right now, if you are struggling with spending habits, if you are feeling out of control, please leave a comment below and tell us and share with us what you're struggling with, because most likely there are much more people out there also struggling with the same things. So leave a comment below and tell us where you're struggling, and we will encourage you and try and help you along your own path. Listen guys, I've made mistakes in my 20s, massive mistakes, things I regret. It doesn't have to be you. You can really make better choices, and I promise you, the stuff that you choose today is going to impact your tomorrow. So please, please, please make better choices than I did when I was in my 20s. My gosh, if I could go back and fix things, I would. I would slap myself into today, and kind of having this wisdom now. So I hope that's encouraged you and helped you. If you've liked this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe and click the notification button, and please share this video with your friends, because we need to start changing the conversation about financial choices and about how debt has been normalized. It's not okay to be suffocating and living according to patterns that are not helping you and not freeing you. So I'm going to end there today, because I could talk about this for a very long time, as you can tell. But I hope that's helped you, and I hope to see you soon, and keep focused on what's really going on in your heart, because that's going to give you clues into why you're spending the money in the ways that you're spending it. I hope that's helped you. Give us a thumbs up. Have a great day.